Hey, welcome back to Mixtapes and Mopeds with
Woo!
Red Wheels Panda. Been a little short time away, a little busy lives. By the way, the fastest growing podcast on the planet. Hey, big love to our loyal crew, and you're the reason why this ride keeps on rolling. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for all the love and feedback. Panda, do you know that we have now made it to the shores of Alabama?
That's crazy.
We've made it to the shores of Alabama. Sweet home Alabama, where the skies are so blue. Now, I can't believe, I was sitting at lunch at a table, and, right, there's a relation, social media knows how to pop into somebody's podcast of my son, and some girl I'm sitting at the end of the table and pops up and says, "Hey, wait a minute. You have the podcast. You're Red Reels Panda." I went, "You got to be kidding me." It was actually pretty warming. Loved it. And just she goes, "Wait a minute. I've watched all of them. When's the next one coming out?" So, yes, now we have made to the shores of Muscle Shoals.
Well, now we have two fans in Alabama, so we've doubled our fan base. That's
Double
great
our fan
news.
base. There you go. Now we have to expand. Kimmy, we all really love you. Better make sure you tell everyone in that friend group to come aboard. We really love. By the way, we Eli Manning's filming his thing there right tonight. It's pretty cool. So, what say you, Panda?
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've gotten together. Like you said, just life gets in the way, and we've actually physically made our move to South Carolina. So this is the first podcast, I think, from South Carolina for me. So that's cool. Um, One thing that I got, wanted to share with everyone, we have decided we're kind of expanding on this concept a little bit. We've got a website, redwheelspanda.com, which is under construction, but in the next few months, we're going to be able to release a site that is pretty much dedicated to our love of the 80s culture, music, sports, all of that stuff. And we've got some cool ideas of things that we're going to be able to do. So just wanted to let everybody know that that's coming. You go out there now, the website is just kind of under construction, but yeah, we'll have further updates here, probably in September, but looking forward to getting
And
working on that.
what I really the fans are really asking, where's the merch? We need the
Yeah,
merch. Where
yeah.
is the merch? Where's the
Well,
merch?
yeah, once we get this website up, we will have a Shopify, ultimately have a Shopify link where we can sell the merch. But got to get the website first, and then the merch will come. Yes, I know Christmas is just around the corner, so you got to get
Yeah, exactly. Come on, it's whatever. It's Amazon Day right now. You got to get the
exactly.
merch
It's
out there.
Pride Day right now. Yeah, we should be on
Prime
there
Day.
already.
I thought
Uh,
we'd be more Walmart, but that's okay.
yeah. Anyway, more to come and all that. Super exciting. I've got some time, so I'm going to be devoting some time to that, and I think you're all going to like it. So again, we'll update in future podcasts. So that's the first thing I wanted to cover off, and then the second is made a decision about a month, 5 weeks ago. Um, my dad was the restorer of cars, and he passed away earlier this year. And my middle son, Casey, really likes to. He's lifted all his vehicles. He likes to work on them, and he wanted to work and restore a car. And I was like, okay, I went in on this. And as we kind of went through the process, I was like, hey, this should be kind of a tribute to my dad because this is what he did. And I never really did that growing up with him. But back when I was a senior in college, he bought a wrecked 1982 Datsun 280ZX red, fixed it up. And I thought actually I might get that as like a grad present, which of course was ridiculous because that's not what my dad did. He fixed cars up, sold them, and got the next car, and every car was better after that. But I really loved that car. I got to drive it around Lancaster for a while, over the breaks and whatnot. And so I'm like, hey, why don't we just find one of those? And so I found a 1982 Datsun 280ZX Turbo Coupe in Valdosta, Georgia. And so when we were taking some furniture up to Casey up in Cincinnati, we actually went down to Valdosta, got a our trailer and towed that thing up to Ohio and taken it to Lancaster, where obviously my brother runs Young's Collision and got some buildings there. So it's sitting in a building. Actually, it's sitting in a mechanic right now trying to get the engine purring. But yeah, Casey and I are going to start going up maybe once a month and just working on it. It's a lot of parts and things that you can buy over the internet these days, and a lot of body work that we can do, stuff like that. So super excited. And one of the things we decided is we're going to film every step of the way, and then we're going to put it out on social media, and we're going to have it on the website. So anyway, just wanted to give everybody a heads up. That's also coming and will be available on our website later this year. So super
Sounds
excited
like
about
you
that.
need a GoPro to do some of the filming. Put it on your heads, and
Yeah,
as you get into some of that detail work.
I got one of those sticks. They it can use as a tripod or whatever, or you can also be a whatever stick. And so yeah, I want to just use the iPhone, and I think we can make it work. So
Andy is 60, so we do know those sticks have been out for about, I don't know, 20 years.
I am aware, but I had an old tripod that it wouldn't work with the iPhone, so I had to buy a newfangled tripod. Which yeah, anyway, so
I know I struggle with those darn things all the time, and I give it over to my daughter and say, "Make this thing work. I don't want to do it
yeah,
with a little clicker to turn on the movie."
yeah. So those are my updates since the last time we chatted.
So we give a little. We always give a little concert review, and my concert review is
Mm.
Vegas. We made it out to Vegas to the Sphere, and I think you said you were out in the Sphere one time just for like a
Hmm.
show to
Hmm.
see it. But anybody listening, is one of the most. It is just an incredible experience, and it puts a concert venue. And we found the tickets. Look, anything above $100 is expensive, but when you start getting into you want to be like front row seats for $1,000, it goes way. So for about 250 bucks to $300, still expensive, but you have an incredible video show to go along with it. And it was
Mm.
just a great experience. And I mean, I got to say, the two best trips I ever had in Vegas. I took both of them have been with our friend, the Muddy Buddy, Dale Edwards. Shout out to Dale and Sweeney's. Um, but the first trip I was out there with Dale and Jay Cox, and then the second one, Panda and I were out there on a trip with Notre Dame and Ohio State. We ended up
Hmm.
in Vegas and walking home at 6 o'clock in the morning with our
Hmm.
pockets completely emptied.
Empty, totally empty.
I think I had
Oh
20
my
bucks
God,
to my name.
that was rough.
Yes. Oh man, you're going, man. But we had a blast. I know I lost, but that was a great trip. And so, but you go there, Vegas, we go to a lot of shows and you go to conventions, and you're like, ugh, I don't want to even be there for a second. And so I got caught up with some friends of ours, and they're drinking some wine. And they're going, "Hey, Kenny Chesney's playing out in Vegas. Let's go." And I know, I've been out there a bunch of times. I don't want to go. I've only had two fun experiences, and it's with good friends. And they go, "All right, we're doing it." Okay, I'm gonna go. And they're gonna carry me along. So I'm gonna say the thing that was amazing is the Sphere, Kenny Chesney, Treasure Island. We stayed at a lower cost motel and or a motel hotel. The gambling there was great. They
Hmm.
had affordable tables, and that was a key thing.
Oh
Affordable
yeah,
tables, affordable
yeah,
drinks.
yeah.
A really cool bar in there that had some good bands just inside of there.
Hmm.
So everything about that was a great experience. I will give a big thumbs up to Vegas this time on all those experiences. And I found Vegas. It's about who you go out there and see, and hang out with.
I
And
agree
if you
with
don't
that.
have that,
I agree with that.
it's a tough place to
Yeah,
go because yeah, it just anyway.
yeah,
Go see the Sphere. Find one of the good shows. And yes, is it overpriced at 250 bucks? Sure, but it doesn't matter if you're in the top row. All I say is don't be in the
yeah,
front. It's actually a place you don't want to be in the front row. Stay away from the floor. You want to be in one of the sections to see the video
yeah.
stuff going on behind it.
Yeah, because the videos are going up over your head and behind you on the sides,
Yep.
and if you're down in front, you just miss all that. Better to
Yep.
be back. Like that's a really strong point there. I picked that up too when we were there. What a great experience. You must go to the Sphere. Even if you don't go to a concert, you can pay like $30 and just go in and watch a movie and it takes advantage and you get the flavor of it. But obviously a concert would be pretty special and Kenny Chesney's pretty cool. So that was cool. But hey, did you pick up my money, man? Where's my money?
Hey, mo money.
More
Mo
money.
money. I got $200 sitting in my pocket, brand new sitting in
Yeah.
my
Where's my
pocket.
money?
I have two crisp $100 bills, man, sitting right. It's
Yeah.
been sitting in my pocket now for a better part of, golly, almost 4 weeks.
That's my Buckeye Natty Championship bet money.
The Panda bet on the Buckeyes last year and got 8-1 odds, and I went and cashed his ticket, and now he's out of about $200.
Yeah. Now out $200. Wait a minute. I know where you live.
All
Oh, that's
right,
good.
around the horn, Panda. Tell
All
us,
right.
give us the update
Yeah.
on the
So
Bluebirds
yeah. So
story.
last time you gave me some of the best advice you gave me in a while
Well,
because
tell
I
us the problem. What was the
yeah.
problem?
So
Tell us the
I
problem.
called it the demon bird, which turns out to be a bluebird. And I found out later bluebirds are attracted to blue houses, and we have a blue gray house. So that is probably the explanation for why he pecked 5 holes in my house and was attempting to burrow and nest in the insulation and ripping the insulation out and all that stuff. So you said, well, just get a bluebird house, and they're specially designed for the bluebirds. And I'm like, well, that seems like that might work. And so I went out, got one off Amazon, put it up like it's 5 feet high, which is on these posts. It's just the way it's supposed to be. Like you said, the right size hole so the big birds don't get in. And I'm telling you, within 3 days, the nest was completely built out in there. And we just, left about 10 days ago to move out here. And when we left, there was clearly baby birds in there because the mom and the dad were doing their thing, going back and forth. And so, yeah, it worked out for everybody. I've been battling that bird for 2.5 years, and all it took was a little
Little
bluebird
bluebird
house.
box and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that's a great story.
yeah,
That was a whim of a guess. I went, well, if you put that house out there, maybe they go to that, because the problem with the bird is they always go back to where their original
yeah, yeah,
nest or whatever they started from, and if that's where it was in the side of the house,
yeah.
they're going to continue to do that unless there's something other way to get around it. That's pretty
Last
cool.
yeah, last year after I kept stopping all the holes and filling them up, he went up into our gutter and kind of finagled his way in. So I had closed that up earlier in the year. So he went back to just ripping on the wall. So anyway, all is good, I think, on the bluebird front. So that's the update for that one.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. The other thing I want to talk about, I went to school for a couple of years down in Texas, and when we went there that first week, we floated down the New Braunfels River, which is somewhere south of Austin, north of San Antonio. It's this, if you're from Atlanta, it's kind of like shooting the hooch, Chattahoochee, which is a very calm river.
Which, by
Um,
the way, anybody that is out there listening to the podcast, you want to have, if you're in your 20s or 30s, it is
yeah.
a great thing to go jump in the tube, float down, have a 6 pack, and just float down the river. It's so much fun.
Yeah, and it's very similar at New Braunfels, and they have a place where you can pull over and jump off the cliff and all that stuff. And then I watched the video on social media, and like literally with no warning, I mean, it was like the Mississippi River was going down what was this peaceful river, and people were, I don't know, 100 people have died, and those girls and the campground and all that. So, yeah, that's just unspeakably bad,
And
and having
thoughts and prayers go
yeah,
out with those families.
for sure.
That's a just an awful. I can't imagine. Especially all those camps with all the young kids, that
Ah,
the devastation there. Yeah,
yeah, just crazy. What's you got a rant for us this week? You got anything you want to rant about?
man, it's hard to go after that Debbie Downer.
Sorry.
Um,
All right, we'll pick it back up here.
well, yeah, but I'm gonna give you another downer.
All right.
Uh,
Okay. Here we go.
my rant of the week. I'll we're doing is, I mean, we've been in our house for 17 years. I just like having a credit line, and our credit line expires. You got to renew
Yeah.
your credit line
Yeah. Yeah.
every 5 years,
Yeah.
through this process. And then, I mean, it's just simple. It's not even like asking for a new
Yeah.
mortgage. I'm doing this new credit. This
Right.
mortgage process is like, it's like having a colon. It makes a colonoscopy feel like a day at the spa, man. I don't understand why it has to be so complicated. And the reason being is they go look up records. Like it shows that my wife is in business with some guy named Gary, and that there's a lien against the Gary and Barbara Wheeler business. And we have to go say, well, that's not her, and go give a testimony. And I got somebody else that has put a lien against the house for nothing. There's a lien of nothing. And we're digging into, and we're trying to dig through what the heck this is. I mean, I guess I'm glad that I'm figuring it.
Well, yeah.
It's such. Here's what I say, dear AI. And I heard this down in Alabama when we were there. And it said, whenever you ask AI a question, make sure you say, could you please, AI, give me the answer? He goes, because at some point you're on record as being a nice person. And when
AI
AI
is
takes
gonna like
over,
you. Oh my God.
I love you, AI.
Oh my God. That's hysterical.
Matter of fact, my father-in-law talks to you all the time in nice, kind words, and he likes your response, which I found entertaining. But please, AI, take over the mortgage process so that you can answer all the questions
Yeah.
and go, done, nope, 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 nope. All right, we might have something here we got to go talk
You,
about.
you know
And
that's coming. That is definitely coming.
that's the place to go fix the problems. And
Yeah.
then you go and you can go respond to the legitimate. And there is one legitimate thing I go, wow, I got to go fix that. That's my rant of the day. The mortgage process
Well,
sucks.
kind of, jumping on that comment, that's where AI can really have think of all the crappy processes you have to go to, like getting insurance, like car insurance or home property insurance, or just crap with regulations and all. AI could come in and make that very simple and
Oh,
understandable
I'm
for
gonna
people.
give you my AI experience recently was one of the best ever. So, we've always we always go through those phone system nightmare. Press one, press zero, press zero, press four, and then you get to the automated web and you go, all right, I give up.
Yeah,
Zero, zero, zero. I
right.
don't understand. I don't understand. So I asked AI. We needed to put in an outlet for an electric car, an outlet for the RV panel. So I go, I didn't know my electricians have been something I didn't like. Yeah, so ask AI, what's the best electricians around me? And they gave us one. So then I hit their website and I actually called just because I wanted to talk to a person, and it was an AI. You could see it. Son of a gun. It was the best
Really?
conversation. I went, I was so impressed. They, the person, the AI person that they had chosen walked me through the process,
Mm,
scheduled an appointment. It was, and then the guy that was scheduled for the appointment was there, called me up. It was the most smooth process of talking through a phone operator I've ever been through, and it was
mm.
strictly driven through an AI bot. And
I
I
tell
could,
you, that's
if you,
amazing.
matter of fact, if you need an electrician, there are two offices, one in Cumming, Georgia, and one in Hilton Head. If you need
Mm,
electricity, I've got the place to go to. Any rewiring, you probably
all
don't need it
right.
in your place now,
I
but I've
do.
got the place.
I need to yeah, I need an electrician actually. So I'll talk about that after the fact. Well, the bot AI, I know that AI driven bots aren't really ready for prime time as a general rule. So that's pretty cool that that particular company has figured it out. That puts them kind of ahead, top of the
Fantastic.
class.
They're using a software company that drives their contracting business. And so there's a big company out there that I mean, it's a huge software company for
Mm,
service industries. And whatever one they picked was perfect. And I gave them 5-star ratings. And the people that
nice.
came out were 5 stars. And it was in the affordable range and not, did I get the cheapest price? Gosh, no. Did I get the most expensive? No. It was right in the middle of the bucket. And that's what it was perfect.
Cool.
All right. The underrated 80s. We always have these segments talking about what was something from the 80s. It's the sentimental, or what is the underrated things that you found in the 80s. And we have some interesting questions
Hmm.
or answers from the condom to other other interesting areas. So, what say you, Panda? You go up first.
Yeah. So this has kind of been prompted in my mind because of this whole car thing and getting that thing working. So this car has T-tops. And, back in
The
the 80s, we had like
Targa
Corvettes.
top.
Corvettes had T-tops, and Trans Ams and Camaros had T-tops. This 280ZX had T-tops. They are so freaking cool. You take them off, they're really easy. You take them out, you put them back in. It's a piece of cake. You don't see the T-tops anymore. No, I don't see a T-top anywhere. So where the heck did the T-tops go? I think that was a cool
They went
invention.
flying down the highway when somebody forgot to hit the latch.
Right. Probably some truth in that statement. But they're so cool because then you got the
Mike
little,
Mike Fletcher forgot to latch it on to
yeah,
his Trans Am.
he
By
had
the way,
T
Mike, we
tops.
love you.
He had T tops for sure. Yes, but it was a good look because you had the one over the driver, one over the passenger, then you had the little rail that goes in between. And to me, that provided a little aesthetic element that I thought was pretty cool. And now you got the sunroofs, or you got a Tesla, you got all glass roofs, and I get all of that. But I don't know, I just kind of miss the T top. So that's my
So
underrated.
when you grow in your Burt Reynolds mustache to
Yeah. Bert loved himself a T-top. I know that.
That's a good one. I like that one really a
Yeah.
lot. Well, I don't think we've said this, and it popped up in my head about it. So this is the Mixtapes and Mopeds podcast, and so I'm going down the path of the forgotten thing, or the nostalgic thing of the '80s is the moped, and I freaking loved. I uh,
Mm.
I ran a paper route, worked at a garden store, and was one of the first ones with the moped. Not electric. There wasn't electric back then, but it's kind of the first version of what we're seeing
Mhm.
now
Yeah.
with the electric bikes. It
Hmm.
was as heavy as the electric bike is today. But it was like the first taste of freedom of having mopeds. Man, you could go anywhere you wanted to go within 15, 20 miles. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed having that time, and I couldn't, that to me, that's one of the nostalgia. And it, like, as fast as it like ramped up, it went away. And if you were riding one, you were a goober. Um, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I mean, the moped disappeared
It
after the
did.
80s.
It
I mean,
did.
as fast as it was popular, it was gone.
But now the e-bikes are
But
everywhere. We got a bunch of knucklehead kids riding like 30 miles an hour down with no helmets, and they're doing wheelies and standing on them. And I'm like, wow, that was the stuff that was done back in the 80s on the mopeds. Kids are doing them now, and they're going faster than they ever did. But yeah, and I know you were probably using your e-bikes all over the place down in Alabama.
oh yes, yeah, we'll talk about that again here a little bit
All
later.
right. Okay.
Let's jump into segment number two.
All
We have
right.
a movie review from the 80s. So,
Yes.
old Panda picked out a movie, and surprising enough, the subject line of the movie, I had never seen this. And old
Oh,
Stevie,
wow.
old Red Wheels here. I was Wheels was a wrestler back in the
Yeah.
day. Let's qualify that. Wheels was a pseudo wrestler. It was there to fit periods of time when Wheels might have been in trouble with mom and dad. And go, all right, I gotta go get out of this. Let's go do a sport. And enjoyed the heck out of it. It's one of the best things in my life I've ever done. Um, but this movie, the premise of the movie, you say it's about wrestling, but we're going to talk about it's not just about wrestling.
Mhm.
So, Panda,
Yeah.
what say you?
Yeah. So I picked this one because it was a wrestling movie. And I liked the movie. I did see it back in the day, and had a great soundtrack, and which I owned to this
See,
day. So,
I thought you picked because of the soundtrack, but
well, that's the big reason. That's the most memorable part of the movie. Before I went back and rewatched it here recently, but the soundtrack is great. We'll get into that. So, yeah, I'll tee it up. So the movie was released on February 15th, 1985, by Warner Brothers. Harold Becker directed it. He's 96 years old and still kicking, if you can believe that. He directed a lot of cool movies. Mercury Rising was a Bruce Willis movie, so he was a reputable director. Stars Matthew Modine as the lead guy, Loudon as the wrestler. Linda Fiorentino played the hot, sexy
what was her name?
Linda Fiorentino. You know her best from the Men in Black movies, but this was her.
Oh, I knew I saw her from something.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
yeah.
this was her first movie. She was really good, I thought. And then Ronnie Cox, who I like a lot, and Michael Scheffling. We'll get into what he did prior to this movie. So those are the main stars, but there are other guys in there that we know. Forrest Whitaker was in there. There's a bunch of
Yeah, I
other.
saw Forrest Whitaker in
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
wrestling team. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. It made $13 million at the box office, so it wasn't a big hit, but it became like a cult favorite, and so it's kind of never. It's always been around. It's one of those movies, but I yeah. So that's the movie. Um, from my perspective, there were three things that I liked about lots of movies. One, if it's sports related. Um, Two is music, and three is there's some kind of conflict. Whether in this case it's kind of a love story, but it kind of had a lot of the elements of what I think made the good '80s movies. So from that perspective, I liked it. So what you since you I was going to ask you what you remembered of it, but clearly you hadn't seen it. So given that, now that you watched it, freshly, what's your take overall on the movie?
Well, I mean, the things that caught my attention. First thing that caught my attention was the workouts and the wrestling thing. I mean, that you go, those guys were doing workouts, and it's kind of funny on some of those workouts. But it was also the wrestle offs. When
Oh,
you think from
yeah.
the sports, yeah, right, and that was absolutely a true scenario. You had wrestle offs, and I always wrestled at a weight class. I made sure my weight class I didn't have anybody I had to worry about. So I had to worry about I was buckled in between Doug Boone and
Todd Patton.
Patton. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
in between those two guys, and Hoskins was above
What
that. So
what was your class that you wrestled at?
I was at 119.
Okay, gotcha.
119 and 105 and 112. I stayed away from 112. That's where Boone wrestled.
Okay.
But in the earlier days, is 105. Doug. I mean, I always worked out with Doug, but man, I was not going to go in his
Ooh,
weight
he was
class. He was
good.
good. Well,
Yeah.
he went to William and Mary on a wrestling scholarship,
Yeah.
so yeah, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
So let me. But in that, so what I thought about that movie, it had, it was. I would actually say it was a little complex with everything. I thought it could have been rated R for one reason.
Mm.
And I'm going to say this because I have my mother that might listen to this, and my wife and my daughter might listen to this. But I was finding kind of interested that they had a section in there for about 10, 15 minutes of talking about lady parts.
Yes. Yes.
I went, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And in 1980, you never really talked about
You
the
never
lady
talked
parts.
about the clitoris.
See, I have a daughter, I have a wife, and I have a mother that comes from the panda that does not come
Oh,
from wheels.
it was tastefully done in the movie. So it was tastefully done. It wasn't gross or anything, but it was funny. I thought. Yes, he got in trouble for writing a paper on that girl body part.
So if I were going in my British lit class in high school and I had to give a paper to J.J. Lucasco, I would probably be saying, the one thing that I really took out of this was it wasn't really about wrestling, in my opinion. The movie was about wrestling with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And there were multiple folks within the movie from all the characters. Every character was wrestling about themselves.
Hmm.
And so the takeaway was you were just kind of, and that's what kind of you're watching along because you were seeing probably four, five, six different characters
Yeah.
wrestling with something in life. And so the reason why I would say is definitely, definitely one. It gets my vote on the Red Wheels Panda thumbs up to go watch because it did have that plot of it was something about wrestling with something in life, and it's not just a wrestling movie, and not even close to just being a wrestling movie.
No, that's a very interesting insight there because you're right. There were at least four, if not five, characters that were grappling or wrestling with something, and Matthew Modine's character was, wrestling with, um, not just doing what it was expected and just being good enough.
Getting laid, is that what you're trying to
Well,
say?
that too, but that was kind of a side thing. But the main thrust of the story is he weighed 190 pounds, and then he decided to lose weight down to 168 to wrestle the three-time defending state wrestling champ, and that took him.
By the way, in no green God's green earth did that dude ever weigh 190 pounds. That dude at best weighed 170. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I think he's a tall man, so I don't know. Yeah, who knows? He was 25 years old playing an 18-year-old, so I guess he could, you know,
Maybe at that at 25, but still.
yeah. But you're right. So he was wrestling. The love interest was wrestling with something. His dad was Cooch, his guy. So Cooch is the interesting character. Did you recognize that actor? That's
Oh
his
yeah.
name, and you know where he came from, right? From
No, I
he,
recognize him from many places, but
he
I
was
couldn't pinpoint it.
the year prior, because this came out in 85. In 84, 16 Candles was released, and he played Jake, who was like the love interest of Molly Ringwald. And so he was the guy who drove the Porsche, that was the really rich guy.
Oh me.
I'm sorry, you cut out. I'm sorry, you cut out.
That didn't help me.
Oh, it didn't. You didn't watch 16 Candles?
I did, but I don't remember it.
All right.
No,
Well,
no.
anyway,
I remember him in another role later on, like 10 years after that, in '95. There was something that I remember him from that he was really good in another movie somewhere down the line. I
yeah,
didn't look him up, but
yeah. Interestingly, he gave up acting at some point in the 90s to start woodworking. So I think he's still doing that to this day, which is kind of weird.
hopefully he's
Um,
still cashing checks from those movies.
yeah. The other thing is that Matthew Modine, he ran everywhere in the movie wearing that like Martian jumpsuit. Like, were you guys wearing those sweatsuits back in the 80s? To
When you were losing weight, you would wear instead of that Martian jumpsuit. That I looked up where that was filmed. It was filmed in Spokane,
Yeah,
Washington,
yeah.
and so you always see the thing him walking across the bridge. So when you were trying to lose weight, Lancaster, Ohio was not a Martian jumpsuit. It was hefty bags underneath
Oh, yeah.
to sweat. So you wore a lot of anything that was plastic. So then my Friday nights waiting for Saturday morning was up at the racquetball club where
Mm,
Dale Edwards was, and sitting in the sauna room
mm,
to try to lose the last 3 pounds. Because I mean, here's how it goes: you lose the last 3 pounds, you weigh in the next morning, Saturday morning, you make the weight, you go out and eat 4 pancakes, you go wrestle,
mm.
and then Sunday you eat like a fiend, and then the next week you're still 6 pounds over, and every day you're trying to work back down
Oh,
to
good.
get to.
Yeah,
That's how the cycle went,
yeah,
and it sucked. But when you were trying to fit yourself in between two good wrestlers to wrestle at the best level, that's what you had to do, and that's what he was doing to that thing. It just would sweat pounds off. Yeah,
yeah,
you ran all the time in it too.
yeah. Well, you called out all the people that are trying to wrestle with something and whatever it was, but the other thing I want to call out is again, the movie soundtrack was amazing. The very first second of the movie, they pull out Lunatic Fringe by Red Ryder, one of the great songs from the 80s. Love Lunatic
Best,
Fringe.
I love that.
Awesome song.
That's one of the best songs of
And
all time.
I'm a closet Madonna fan from back in the day, and she played at the bar and played "Crazy for You" and another song. And interestingly, that was right when she was like blowing up. And the movie, I read the movie in the UK and Australia was actually renamed to Crazy for You to kind of leverage the Madonna popularity. But anyway, I wish we had seen a little bit more of her because she had just a very brief role in there. And I also Ronnie James Dio, Hungry for Heaven. I'm a big. If we went, we did our uh, four favorite rock singers, and I didn't have him on my list, but he would have been just off my list. Ronnie James Dio. He was in Black Sabbath and a bunch of other bands, but love that song. The other thing that I would say is the actor who played Shoot, and he was the three-time defending state champ. I love that scene where Matthew Modine goes out and he's telling him, "Hey, I'm gonna drop all this weight and I'm gonna wrestle you." And he's like carrying a log the size of I don't know what up and down stairs at a stadium, and he's just like, "Yeah, I hope you do." It was just a really cool scene. I love that
I
scene.
looked at that dude and went, there were two people that I thought about, and that was Greg Dobbins.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah,
Because Greg Dobbins was one of those. You
yeah.
go, I don't want to mess with that. And Doug Simonton is
Oh
another one
yeah,
you
absolutely.
go.
This actor
You
was
look at
right
those
in
two
mind.
guys. They're
Yes,
the guys you go, I am going to knock your
yeah,
brain out. And
exactly.
those two dudes, I loved them to death, but man, they were intense.
Very well cast. Very well cast.
I think okay, there's a line in there. One of my favorite lines, and it was one in there. I can't remember where it was, but it says it was when he was training and getting ready for this, and he was trying to lose weight. Somebody said, "You look like a corpse with a pulse," and I went, "Oh, that's what it's like losing weight. You're just going like
Yeah,
sunken. You're trying to lose
yeah,
everything."
yeah,
And you're trying to keep every strength you have to go out there to that, especially when you work against some guys carrying a freaking brick,
yeah.
running down the steps.
Right.
I mean, the only way you beat those guys is being smarter than they are. It's the
Yeah,
only way. You're not going to out wrestle them. You're not going to outdo it. You only can outsmart them.
yeah. So to kind of close this section off, how would you rate this in terms of how does it play 40 it's 40-year-old movie. Watching it fresh for you, does it feel dated or does it play well in this day and age?
Absolutely dated because of the filmography or the camera work on it, the the clarity of the deal
Mm,
from that standpoint. And today's movies do not have that sentimental value. So it's kind of like watching for us, for you and I, if we go watch a black and white movie from the
yeah,
40s or 50s, you can get into the black and white. So we know there's some black and white. I can watch Frankenstein from back in the day with Gene Wilder,
yeah,
way back in the day. You can watch some of those black and white, the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang or the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz have made it through time, so you can watch some of those black and whites. So it has that kind of nostalgia of seeing something of a moment in time that maybe your parents, your aunt, your uncle have been through, and to have a good story out of it. So yes, it's nothing. Does it relate to today? No, because you don't have all the social crap and the
yeah,
if you were that guy, if you were louder today, you'd have so much social pressure of what you're
yeah.
trying to do and all the stupid noises around you. We all experience that noise. So he was fortunate. He had a crap, think about the noises he had around him that he had in there, but he didn't care. But if you do it today, man,
That's a good point.
you
Yeah.
go from five noises to 1,000
Yeah,
noises.
that's a good point. I would have said it held up pretty well over time just because I think the themes are still valid and I think the acting was top notch, but you make excellent points. I mean, with the lack of social media and the filming, yeah, that clearly the technology on the film production side is vastly improved.
Acting great,
Yeah,
story good.
yeah.
The premise awesome. I mean, the whole premise of the whole
Yeah.
deal awesome with the whole things.
So I'm going to say, based on I think strong acting performances and a really, really one of the best soundtracks of the '80s, I would probably give it like an A minus. If you're interested in watching, I think it's a very solid, solid. I don't know where would you come up on the ABC scale?
I just gave it the thumbs up of the Red Wheels Panda.
There we
It's a
go.
plus.
All right. Got a plus. All right.
Segment
Very
number
good.
3. We are going to walk down this road of sports memorabilia of the 80s. And Panda has suggested we are going to talk about the best NFL teams of the 80s. And I'm going to start off by saying Panda is a little cheater here, being a Bengals fan, because the best team that ever came out of the 70s was the Pittsburgh
For
Steelers.
sure. For sure.
Without question, coming
That
out of the
wouldn't have even
70s,
have been
winning
a
4 Super Bowls.
yeah.
He is going now. But we make it about the 80s.
Yeah.
And that
Hey,
changes the whole world.
it does.
So
It's a little more
the
balanced.
I'm gonna say the easy pick is the 49ers, and probably I really my one of my favorite coaches of all time is Bill Walsh.
Mm.
I think he influenced so many coaches
Hmm.
today in college football. If you look at Bill Walsh's offense, there's still remnants of Bill Walsh's all offense from Bill Belichick stole some of those things. I mean, everywhere you see Bill Walsh's offense everywhere. So
Yep.
that's the easy pick. So what say you, Panda?
So I'm going to agree with you on the best team of the decade is the Niners. I think they won 3 Super Bowls
Four.
and four. They went four. Okay, so they won
They were
four.
four. They matched the Steelers.
Okay, 4 of the 10. So kind of hard to argue, but the actual best team in a given calendar year for me is the '85 Bears. I
Yeah,
just, I just
best
thought,
one of the best teams of all time.
yeah. I
That
mean, you
team.
can't argue. I don't think any of those Niners teams or any other team beats that '85 Bears team. I don't. I
I
remember
would
they
like to
lost
see
one
the
game that year.
'85 Bears team against that Carolina Cam Newton team,
Mm,
um, in match because they were both relatively undefeated throughout the
yeah,
years.
one loss I
That
think each. Yeah,
Yes, that would have been a good matchup of yes, but that
yeah.
team, and not only one of the best teams you ever saw, but one of the most fun. They
Oh,
put out one of the first videos
yes, yeah.
ever with the shuffle. No, that was different. What was their?
Yeah, it was the Super Bowl Shuffle, I think.
I thought
That's
that was
not
the Bengals.
well. The Bengals had Icky Shuffle,
Icky
but
shuffle. Okay, they
yeah,
read. Yeah, okay,
yeah, I think. But yeah, they had that
but I'm gonna
crappy,
have
crappy video.
I'm gonna have to admit the team I loved in the 80s. I mean, I was a Steelers diehard fan, but I really watched the Dolphins a lot too.
Mm.
Marino and Clayton and Duper and those poor bastards could never figure out how to win a Super Bowl.
But they
And they
did beat
had
the '85 Bears. That was the only loss for the Bears. They were good.
that team.
They were small, but man, you couldn't cover them. You could not cover them with a conventional DB. They changed the game 100% because they had big DBs back. Even the Bears had big DBs, and those little 5'8", 5'9" Smurfs were just running around and running circles around them in the
Now you
NFL.
understand why I like the
Yeah,
Dolphins.
well, okay, yeah, for sure. But they
They're my
did. They changed
brothers.
the game, and NFL is a cyclical thing, and that
Yeah.
was the beginning of a new cycle where you had to have smaller DBs to guard, and the Oilers had those kind of receivers too, and so yeah, that was a
Billy
very and
White
they
Shoes Johnson back in
yeah.
the 70s, man. That was one of my favorite players, too. I think I met that guy recently somewhere. Billy
Well,
White Shoes. I can remember where I
wow.
was.
I didn't everybody in the backyard score a touchdown, do the Billy White Shoes Johnson dance where your knees kind of come together and you come out and you're just he had a very unique little celebration dance back in the day.
Yes, he did. All
All
right, we're going to
right.
go into life's simple pleasures. Go ahead and kick us off there, Panda.
Yeah, we just had our family week here in Hilton Head and with the boys, and it just really reminded me how much I love family time in the pool. Like we were walking distance to the beach, and we went to the beach, I think really just for an hour and a half, and then we went for fireworks, and that was pretty much it. We just stay in the pool and we have a drink in hand and just talk about whatever. And it's just that family time in the pool with your kids and your loved ones and their girlfriends and fiancés and all that. And you're just like, that is just precious, precious moments that every year that happens, I'm going to just love every second of it. So that is my simple pleasure, really just top of mind coming off
I
of
will
a
I will
week.
add on to that is when we get to do those family trips together too, where we have
Hmm.
all of that going on. Growing up,
Hmm.
I mean, us, we didn't make it to the '80s, but we probably started somewhere in the 2005 era,
So that was
2000
well,
2004 era.
our first Hilton Head was with you and Barb was 2000 because Connor was a year old.
Yeah, that's right. So we've been doing it for 25 years.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that goes along because we would bring all of them together, and it's
yeah,
hard now with us all the schedules we have, but we
yeah,
will do it again. We will bring them
absolutely.
all together. That's an easy one. But by the way, Panda, that's a boohoo. Thank you for everybody listening. You don't get to enjoy that with all of us, but that is just such a. If you can ever put together those family trips
Mm,
together and figure out how you, that's a precious thing to do.
yeah.
So I'm going to add into mine is we had mentioned it earlier about riding the bikes and having that. So I said mopeds earlier, and so we have these electric bikes now. And the electric bike, my life simple pleasure is just about when we get on them. I've turned on Panda to the same kind of model bike. I've
Hmm.
actually turned on
Love
about
it.
four other people. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
the bike is I can't.
yeah.
Uh,
It's
is it the
awesome.
best one? Well, I don't know, but
I don't know.
it
Good,
works.
good enough
It
for
works.
me, and it worked.
Yeah, it's
I've
good
been
enough for me. I
the
just
battery still shows 100%, and I've been driving it all over the freaking island. I don't know if the battery ever goes down. It's awesome.
so I mean, just sitting back and going from place to place and not worrying about something. And if my leg hurts or my back hurts or whatever, I just hit the button.
Hmm.
But then again, if I want to get a little exercise, I go
Hmm.
and pedal the bike and do. So just sitting back and enjoying. You can ride, and I mean, the battery is supposed to be at 60 miles. I've tested it to 40 and still had a lot of juice to go. And we did it a couple of weeks ago, or last week at Orange Beach in Alabama. We've done it in Hilton Head. So if you can figure out a place to park your behind and go and get that kind of electric bike, and it's a game changer as you approach the older age, and you
It
don't have to
is.
worry about pedaling wherever you're going.
It, yeah, it's for me, like if I get tired and I'm on a regular bike and there's a hill or something, or I have to make frequent stops, it's the stop start that kills me on a regular bike. Or if you got to go up a
Right.
hill,
Yes.
if you're like, oh, I'm tired, just hit the button and it'll get you through that. And then you can still exercise. Like I went an entire bike ride with Jill. I had it on one where it basically is riding it like a regular bike. You don't really need the juice, but then I rode it a long distance and I had it on two or three, and it gives me a little bit of assistance, but I'm still getting exercise. But for people our age, it is a total game changer.
It's
I
a game
totally
changer.
agree with you.
But to me, that's my life simple pleasure
I
of
love it. Love it.
having a smile. All
Yep.
right.
All right, stump
Here we
wheels
come down to
time.
the worst segment that we have besides Steve's rant. We're going to see how dumb Steve is.
Oh, I think you know this movie fairly well, so I think you might get this one.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. No.
No. All right, and I'll try to say it with the proper way. So here we go. I can't do it because I can't do the accent. Sorry. Say hello to my little friend.
Say hello to
Say
my little friend.
yeah. Say hello to
Say
my
hello
little
to my little
friend.
friend. Say hello to my little friend. Everybody online's going, say it, Steve. Say it, Wheels. Say it. Say it. Say hello to my little friend.
You do
Oh,
the
good God.
accent
I
pretty
know it.
well. It's in a Cuban accent. I'll give you that.
I want to say it's the Three Amigos, but it's not.
Mm-mm.
See, that's me saying it in that movie.
Nice try.
Say hello to my little friend.
Oh, you're saying it perfectly too.
I know the movie.
Yeah.
I can hear the guy. You just don't have the dots to connect. All right, what is
All
it?
right. It is Al Pacino from Scarface.
Oh, I would never got that.
Oh, you didn't know that movie? You don't know
Yeah, but
Scarface?
I don't. No, yeah, I watched it once.
Oh, okay. Well, it's at the end where it's like a 5 hour, 4 hour movie. And it's at the end where the world is crumbling and they're coming in to get him. And he's in this room in his palace, whatever. And he's got these weapons. He's blowing people away. And he goes, "Say hello to my little friend." And he blows them away. And then he gets blown away. That's the end of the movie, pretty much.
It's in a cartoon too. That is.
Oh,
It's
doesn't
in.
surprise me.
Yes, it's in. Not the King of the Hill. It's in one of those like King of the Hill. Say hello to my little friend.
All right, so we stumped you again. Next time you can try to stump me if you like, but
I had one, but it was not a good one that I
all
liked.
right.
All right, hey everybody, I want you to make sure we appreciate every time you guys post. Love us. Please send out questions. Give us a big review. We so much like it. Put your comments on YouTube, Spotify, and we're on Apple
Yeah,
Podcasts as
Apple
well.
Podcast. Yep.
Okay, please put them out there. We love you all. Thank you so much. It's so much. It's so fun to when I happen to see somebody out there. I'm Panda. I must be the star.
You are the star. You're generating all the fans. It's crazy.
I got to renegotiate my contract.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk later. What's
But
60% of zero? Let me figure that out.
60. What's 80? All right, guys.
Another good show.
Please love us. Great show, and thank you very much.
Yep. See y'all.